After 2 months, F1 Academy returns to the Dutch Grand Prix and the first of 2 practice sessions here this weekend. It is round 5 for the F1 Academy Championship, and let's just say I'm really happy that we have returned to such a circuit. And it is 4.259 kilometers, 8.7 meters in elevation, 14 turns, and 1 of 2 practice sessions here. 2 17-lap races and 136.8, the race lap record around here, which it will be a struggle to beat in this first session alone. So the cars are out there on the circuit, and look at the dust. This is already being kicked up here. It will take a while for that dust to clear. This circuit is indeed quite a green circuit. This is the first running that has been on this circuit in a few months. A few months is a good way to put that. It has been a few good months between meetings at this circuit. So we head to the Netherlands this weekend, and Diane Pan heads into this weekend with the Drivers' World Championship lead. I think she leads it by 20 something points. Heading into this weekend, these drivers come back into the pit lane. Chloe Chambers also sitting in the pit lane. She's sitting second at the moment in the drivers' standings. And, well, she's, 20 points back. Yeah, so 20 points back there to Chloe Chambers. And another person that's really fallen out of this championship is Maya Vogue. She's fallen out within the last couple of rounds, and she definitely won't want that to happen here this weekend, with the sort of falling out of pace last round, with a few technical dramas within practice, and then in qualifying those technical dramas continued. Race 1 continued. Race 2 was the only good point scoring that she got in Canada. She did have an incident, I think, with Alba Larson at some point, which was not good for her confidence, but you got to do what you got to do to get good points. As Maya Vogue, after a couple months, after the summer break, she's now starting to get back into the rhythm here, and she will start putting some laps down in this first session here. So, of course, 40-minute session, and we've got a rookie this weekend. We have got Kosterman. This weekend, rookie, her name's Kosterman. She's, at the moment, sitting up in third, but she's in the pit lane. So, expect lap times to start coming through. Of course, these drivers, they get 2 40-minute practice sessions. So, these drivers, they've got plenty of time. There's no rush in this first session because, of course, F1 Academy, and there's only Porsches here this weekend, which I'm not streaming. So, F1 Academy and Porsche Carrera Cup are the only things that are on track in terms of support races here this weekend. Rafaela Ferreira, sitting 12th in the driver standings at the moment. 9 points have gone her way so far this season. Of course, we have hit past the midpoint, so 9-round season. Ella Lloyd, she's worked her way up in the championship. She's about 4th or 5th. She's 4th at the moment, 67 points bagged in this championship. She did have quite an epic battle in race 2 at Canada with Diane Pan and Chloe Chambers. Of course, those 3 being the Alicia Palmosky as well. A few good battles there, along with Emma Felbermeyer as well, who really got close to winning races last time out. Just wasn't close enough. Palmosky was one of those. Ella Lloyd was really, really strong as well. Had pace in qualifying, didn't have it so much in the race. Of course, I'm thinking back to this to the last time we went racing for F1 Academy, which was nearly 2 months ago. It has been quite the while. And of course, a lot of other racing has happened since then with Freca and Italian F4. But of course, they're on their summer break now. And of course, Formula One at Zandvoort this weekend. I'm going to be butchering a lot of corner names this weekend. And sadly, Elizabeth probably won't be here to catch many of them. I have texted her on Discord and said there's a pushback in the streams because I've got other things to do. So, yeah. Alicia Pomoski on screen at the moment. It's going to be quite important here to get as many laps done as possible. Let's take a listen to Alicia Pomoski and what she had to say during the summer break.
The margin between every driver is so small. I'm expecting the grid to be extremely tight together. It's so technical as well, so it's very easy to make a mistake. The straights are really long, so you need good exits out of every corner, so it's very challenging, but I love a challenge, that's why I'm here. So yeah, really excited for the weekend. Car setup and balance is always extremely important, but particularly around here on such a technical, tight, twisty circuit. It's just a confidence track, to be honest, having confidence around the high-speed sector 2. There's lots of high to mid-speed corners, so having the confidence in the car underneath you is critical. So I've been working really hard with the team, and Campos Racing have done an incredible job throughout testing, but really confident in the car, so hopefully we can get that same feeling here this weekend.
You'll definitely be wanting a good setup around here. Of course, we like to call this circuit the banked circuit because it's literally, you've got two bankings, turn 13 and turn 14, which is don't even, you're going to butcher it. Don't even. You're going to butcher it. Tarzan boxed at turn 1, that's the one corner I know. And then there's just Rob Slot Mockabot. What? Huh? Esme Kosterman, the team viewer team, coming into this weekend being the rookie team. It's going to be quite important that especially Kosterman gets as many laps as possible. Here's the team viewer. Of course, team viewer have been sponsoring a lot of teams here in well, at least most of the teams have TeamViewer on the side of their cars. So, yeah, for that reason, we have Costum with the TeamViewer signage on the side of that car. There are some very much cool looking cars. It would be a bit more cool if I had the Sandown State Championships streaming, but I don't have the time to do that today, so that will definitely have to be delayed to another weekend. As me Costumer, the team viewer team, she's I don't know. The thing is when you're not there at the circuit, you don't know the confidence level of the drivers. So you can see the dust is being kicked up there. It will definitely take most of the weekend for that dust to clear. Maivug inside her Ferrari, getting ready to head out onto the circuit here for her first laps. But of course, not many laps have been put down yet. Felbermeyer is really the only one that's done a lap, and Lloyd as well. So, still got 30 minutes to do as many laps as you can. Joran Giaconte on screen at the moment. She had a pretty good weekend last time out. P11, P12, averaging that. Really struggling. There was a lot of cars struggling at Canada for some sort of reasonable pace. That was very much the vibe that people got with in terms of pace and all that. Let's take a listen to what Joran Giaconte had to say before practice.
Changes in the camber in each corner. I think it's difficult, but I'm always looking forward for a challenge at a new track. So I'm really excited to race here. It feels surreal. It's a new feeling. I've never experienced such camber and banking at the corners. So I think, yeah, it's going to be awesome, but a bit tricky to overtake.
This circuit has been very much known for a struggle to overtake. I can name the corners: turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. I'm going to say the turn 8, probably a good chance to try and overtake cars. Probably maybe turn 10. And then that long DRS straight, which these cars don't use DRS. So it's really no DRS, no push to pass, none of that. So it's really about the skill of these young drivers. You've got probably Audi S down at turn 11 and turn 12, the best opportunity. So turn 10, 11, and 12, best opportunity. Maybe into the Bok at the final banking. You could possibly get a move done there. And where Ella Lloyd is heading through at the moment, which is turn 12 Audi S. As we take a look here at a replay of Ella Lloyd. I'm guessing getting a bit held up by traffic. Is that Jerome Giaconte? It is. So Giaconte getting in the way just slightly of Ella Lloyd, who's on a quick lap. And look at the car as it practically gets up on 2 wheels, which you don't normally see in a Formula 4 car, but it's cool to see that these cars get up on 2 wheels sometimes, and you'll see that through, especially here, the cars sometimes only get up on 1 wheel, because of the bumps through the banking. So you might see that throughout the weekend for these F1 Academy cars, but yeah, they're quite the car to watch to go around this circuit. I've definitely seen some Formula 4 cars go around here. There was GT World Europe here about a couple of months ago, and I watched the GP3 Championship that was here. There's definitely some chances to put on some action here this weekend, as Ella Lloyd now starts for her second real flying lap of this session. Purple through the first sector. We'll see what it's like through the second sector. And at the moment, Emma Felbermeyer 143.0. Still 6 seconds off the race lap record. That will change as Ella Lloyd, wow, getting real sideways. Heading into turn 12. Even on the exit of 11, she slid sideways as Cosma goes to the top, 140.3. That's a good lap. Only now 3 seconds off the race lap record as Ella Lloyd now starts her run down the back straight. Slipstream is going to be quite important in qualifying, I've just realised, as Ella Lloyd does a 140.7. So Cosma, good lap from her of a 140.3 in the early parts of free practice 1. But again, still 4 seconds, still at 4 seconds off the pace of what we saw last year from Abby Pulling, as Ella Lloyd getting sideways into the entry of turn 11, and then the banking of turn 12, the slight banking of turn 12. You had to try and recorrect it. She did dip a wheel in the gravel, as the Roden team watch on for their drivers. Most drivers have not set a lap. We have Cosma Felbermeyer and Ella Lloyd, Havrada, Anastasia, and now Chloe Chong have all set a lap. At the moment, the rest of the field from 7th down to 18th, of course 18 cars, within this field have all set a time. So, yeah. Leah Block. She wasn't too bad. I'm trying to. It's been months, okay? It's been months. It's been like 3 months. Give me a break. It's been 2 months. Give me a break. Give me a break as Leah Block uses all that banking there. Using all the banking down there at down there. Using all that banking as she runs through. And it's the way that this track will evolve throughout the weekend is going to be quite important as we look at Leah Block. Of course, the conditions will change when we hit FP2, which will be in about 2 hours' time. So it'll be a bit later on today, after I've streamed Formula 1 Practice 1 and 2, and then we'll head on to Practice 2 for F1 Academy. So there's still quite the way to go before, of course, we hit that stage of the weekend. But Chloe Chong, 139.9, but the way that this track will evolve with Formula 1 going around, continuing to rubber this circuit in, you can see the dust as well. That will probably be the biggest talking point throughout the weekend. The dust. If you just get offline just a little bit, it will very much affect the grip level, as Ella Lloyd, using all the curbing already such early on in this session, as running through the final few corners. Turn 13, the box, and then heading into the back straight, which is Tunnel West. The Tunnel West straight as yellow for the first sector, personal west for the second sector, and Ella Lloyd does not improve. She stays third position, 140.1. The thing that the teams will be gathering is tyre data. She gets sideways, Ella Lloyd, heading into turn number 1, which is Tenzan Bocht, getting sideways there into turn 1. Chloe Chong has set the fast lap of the session so far, 39.9. What a few drivers will be doing, possibly in this first early part of the session, maybe a few race runs, maybe a few qualifying simulations. Chloe Chong, purple through the second sector, meaning it is overall session best. Kosterman has done the fastest through the first sector at the moment. Chloe Chong heading through the banking through the box, and then down Tunnel West straight and to the line, 7 tenths. What a lap. Chloe Chong, 39.229 for Chong. Kosterman sideways and spun. So Kosterman, that is a rookie error. We've seen drivers sideways through turn 11, and now it's caught a driver out. So it's caught a driver out sideways, and sadly, very sadly, has lost that lap. So she hasn't lost the lap. She's just at times now not going to be a very good one. Yeah, so just lost the back end out of turn 11, or unless it was that curb, which the Formula 4 cars can take that curb. But yeah, just lost grip on the exit of turn 11. And in the process, those rear tyres didn't like it, and she spun right around. There will be a few flat spots on those tyres, which is not good because you only get 2 sets of tyres for practice. So yeah, there is very much a limited amount of tyres, and then you've got 2 sets for qualifying, and then 2 sets for the race, with 3 races. So that's absolutely amazing. Sorry, 2 races. So you only get about 7 sets of tyres for the weekend. Oh, even 6. So 6 sets of tyres for the weekend, and 6 sets of Pirelli rubber. So tyre conservation might become a bit of a play if, of course, there's going to be a few incidents happening around this circuit, as Felbermeyer yellow through the first sector, so she's a little bit off Chloe Chong at the moment, but these lap times will improve once everybody heads out there. I think a lot of drivers in this session that have raced here before, people like Mario Vogt, people like Dorian Pan, Chloe Chambers, a lot of people that have raced here before, Leah Block, that was here last year, that they're a little bit more acclimatized to this circuit. So they'll be waiting maybe for another 15 minutes into this session, get their eye in where the conditions are, maybe do a few qualifying simulations, maybe 5 laps for a race run, and then yeah, that'll really be the end of the session. It's 1:40 for a lap time around here. Ella Lloyd and Aurelia Nobles continue on a lap as well, and Felbermeyer does not improve, so she stays 4th. Quickly displaced by Ella Lloyd, second, 39.8. So still about 6/10 off. Aurelia Nobles through and heading on to the Tunnel West straight. Aurelia Nobles to the line. Slipstream's going to be a bit of a play in qualifying. Second spot for Aurelia Nobles. 139.7. She just locks up that right front tyre and in the process loses a bit of her grip heading into turn 1 as she just adjusts the right hand side mirror there. They're very micro little things that you get to do in free practice. Adjust the mirror to where you want the mirror, and they're very micro little things, just get used to, get used to low grip conditions or something like that. Either getting used to low grip conditions, getting used to high grip conditions, and it's going to be about adjusting to the conditions as well, because when we hit free practice 2, it'll be after Formula 1 have hit the track, it'll be after the Porsches have hit the track for their qualifying set for their free practice session, so track will be a bit more rubbed in for free practice 2 for these drivers, but it's going to be about how they adjust to this. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. And Sector 3 is around here. So is the car on a gravel? Is there a car into the gravel trap? Nope. That is Cole Havradar off the road. That is turn 11, turn 12. So that's the Audi S, where Nicole Havradar has gone off. So that won't be good for the confidence. And when you go off in this first practice session, it really does shoot your confidence right down, which is not something you would want heading into such a long weekend as well, 2 free practice sessions. So you still got quite a while into qualifying. So when you have those sorts of incidents, you have to build it back up. And luckily, these drivers have got 2 practice sessions as well. So the next time Nicole heads through there, just like Ella Lloyd. Oh, and Ella Lloyd actually nearly hits Nicole Havradar. That would have been quite an incident early on in free practice, but thanks to the reaction time of Ella Lloyd and every other car, she does not get any damage or any no front wing will need to be replaced. But yeah, that will be if Ella Lloyd did hit Nicole Havradar, then that would have been a big shoot in the confidence right down. Alicia Palmowski, 800ths up on Chloe Chong. So, not a bad first sector, if I do say so myself. Heading through, Susie Wolf, the Managing Director of F1 Academy, watches on. I started watching the F1 Academy, the movie. I started watching F1 Academy, the movie. I think it was. I think it was just the series. It's actually quite good. I definitely did enjoy that first episode. It gave me flashbacks to last year, because I did watch F1 Academy last year, and it was quite good with Abby Pulling taking quite the championship. I think Abby Pulling's up in the commentary box this weekend. So down there at Zandvoort, she's up in the commentary box, which there might be coming a few times where I might want to hand over to the world feed. Palmowski, 139.086, goes to the top there for Alicia Palmowski. Chloe Chong, purple through the first sector, yellow through the second sector. Chloe Chambers to the top, 139.0. Chloe Chong, she's getting a bit of a tow here. She will go to the top, and I think she got that tow off one of the Racing Bull cars. Chloe Chong to the top. Leah Block, no slipstream for her. It'll be P4 on that lap, 139.546. So, Leah Block, P4. Chloe Chong still leading this session, though, 39.0. She's improved that time. Jaconte, though, Jaron Jaconte, the Australian, in the red and white Weller professionals, in the red and white Weller professional coloured car, as she gets sideways again through the Audi S, through the S's. It's a bit of a struggle to keep the car straight through there, and you need the confidence in the car that it will stick and you won't end up spinning. As Alicia Palmowski now improves through the first sector, it is purple. She's going quite rapid, actually, 6/10 up. So the track is improving. Jaconte as she runs to the line. That is P7 39.9. Still waiting for Diane Pan, Tina Helsman, Nina Gaidman, and Maya Vug to set a lap time in this session. Waiting possibly maybe for the back end of the session when the track's a bit more better in terms of their conditions. Pamoski running to the line. No slipstream for her, but it doesn't need slipstream. She's done a 38.1, 8/10 faster than Chloe Chong. Maybe Pamoski has a bit of pace this weekend, but it's quite early on in the weekend. Chloe Chambers up to second. So it's a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. And it's a 38.3 from Chloe Chambers. Diane Pan making her way out. Only time we've seen Diane Pan out on circuit was at the start of the session. So it shows here Diane Pan a bit more experienced in terms of how this circuit works. Just a little bit more experienced. But she's leading the championship at the moment. She's got 20 points back to Chloe Chambers. So if she can keep that up this weekend, she's got pace. She knows it. If she can keep it up, I think she's in a good position. So the Mercedes back driver, Diane Pan. There, as that is Kosterman with quite livery on her car, 1.7 seconds off to Alicia Palmoski there, but visibility drives change, so that car very much defining visibility there. If you can't see out of a car, you can't drive. So good words of wisdom there from the team, Kosterman and Team Euro as well. Diane Pan on a lap at the moment. Well, her first lap, and through the speed trap, it is Kosterman actually. Maya Vug fast through the speed trap to 221 kilometers an hour is Kosterman. Sorry, Kosterman fastest through the speed trap. So maybe that car running a bit lower wings here. Diane Pan, personal best through the first sector, as she's making her run at the moment through the right-hander. This is quite a technical set of corners, turn 8, turn 9, and turn 10, which is Maribel Bocht, and then the Renault Bocht, which is turn 8 and turn 9, then turn 10, and then the long straight. You hit 8th gear in these cars, and then turn 11. Diane Pan now running through the first of the never-ending bankings, and then practically a long straight. You could technically define this as a long straight here, as Diane Pan continues on with her lap, P6 39.3, but those Pirelli tyres, of course, her first lap she's done on those Pirelli tyres. So she's going to continue to get those tyres up to temp and pressure as she continues to run around. Those tyres will just get quicker and quicker. Maya Vug, she's sitting P5 at the moment, 1 second off the pace, but this lap is going to be a bit more indicative of possibly what pace she has early on the weekend in terms of these low grip conditions. Nina Gaidman goes P15, 40.5, not a really indicative lap. Maya Vug, P3, 6/10 off the pace of Alicia Palmoski quite early on in this session. Minutes to go here in free practice 1, as Diane Pan just gets a little bit held up through turn 10. She'll make her run now down into turn 11, which is the Audi S. Oh, big yawn. Diane Pan sitting P6 at the moment, and as I said, she's continuing on as those tyres come up to pressure. 9 minutes 50 seconds to go, and she gets sideways. She starts the banking here. It's quite cambered, this circuit. So you set the car up for this circuit is quite important. Diane Pan, P3, 38.8, so 7/10 now. She's in the 38s. She'll do one, possibly more lap to see where the tyres can get their maximum out of. Nina Gademan, she did a few sort of slow laps to try and get the tyres up to temp and pressure, but now she's starting the real work in this one. P16, the Alpine Academy driver. No slipstream from up in front, so we'll see what this lap is like. P7, 39.4. Maya Vug in behind, purple through the second sector. She's getting a toe off the car in front. That's Maya Vug. Up into P2, 38.2. Chloe Chambers to the line. Stays P3. She's done a 38.4, so a good lap for Maya Vug, and she's 5 milliseconds off the pace of Alicia Palmowski. I think this is going to get tense. Think about qualifying. Leah Block going over the bumps through the banking. Luckily not getting sideways. Alicia Palmowski using all the banking. There's actually bumps on the exit down there. So that can be what unsettles the car sometimes. And for Ferreira, that definitely did unsettle her car. So I think these cars have the right height. Oh, my Vogue! Sorry, that's not my Vogue. That is Joran Giaconte in the wall. So Giaconte in the wall. This will be a red flag here in this first session. And how has she gone off there? You would have had to have a brake failure to go off there, but red flag in first practice for Joran Giaconte. How did she go off there? Could have been a lockup, as Tina Hausman goes through here on the replay. And this is what's happened to Joran Giaconte. He's sideways on the curb, now on the grass, and now in the wall. So, yeah, there will be a bit of damage on that car. So she's just bottomed out over that curb, and then she had nowhere else to go except practically that wall, that steel-gated wall. So the Australian Joran Giaconte definitely won't be, in terms of confidence, very high on that one. But 6.5 minutes to go. Will we get back out there? It's going to be tight, depending on how the marshals how quickly the marshals can recover that car. If they can't recover it very quickly, and if it takes them 2 or 3 minutes, then, which it probably will at this rate, she's still sitting in the car, and I don't have very good belief in the fact that that car is going to get moving anytime soon, the MP Motorsport car. If it was to get moving, it would have got moving by now. But Alicia Palmowski could be the one that's just topped this first practice session here for F1 Academy. And I mean could be the one that's just topped this first practice for Alicia Palmowski. She will now just sit there. And to be honest, at this rate, there's no pressure because it's not qualifying. So, there's really no pressure. Nina Gademan, she's at her home Grand Prix this weekend, at the Dutch Grand Prix. So she would be wanting some average points. I'm going to say average. Some average points. Of course, sitting in last year's car of Abby Pauling.
Basically just any other race, really. Just a bit closer.
This is Nina Gademan.
It's really nice to have Dutch fans here, and I can speak my own language, obviously, but a lot of people say, obviously it's special to be at your home race, but I mean, it's any other race on the calendar, and I just need to perform.
Yeah, I guess performing would not be a bad idea for your Dutch fans. I can tell you this much, there are a lot of Dutch fans here this week, cheering on Nina Gademan, and people like Max Verstappen, so when it comes to when it comes to practice, when Max Verstappen needs to circuit, there will be quite the reaction from the crowd. Indeed, and I don't reckon this session will get back underway because by the time, you get another minute 40 to try and recover that car, but then by the time the red flag goes off, it'll be about 2 minutes to go. You get one lap in this session, and that's it. Of course, the timer, I don't think, stops in free practice. So it's your time that's going away from you now. It's the 3, 4, 5 laps that you could do in this session. It's just sort of gone away from you. Lloyd telling Geraint Conte to get a move on, and in the process gets sideways on that Pirelli rubber. Sideways actually on the exit of turn 1. So speak about getting sideways, and that's that incident that we saw here with Nicole Havradar and Ella Lloyd at the start of the session, nearly hitting her. Luckily, didn't end up happening. Definitely don't want to see someone getting hit in this session. I'm not going to guess that not everybody's going to be here just for Max Verstappen. There are a few Red Bull fans, even a few McLaren fans. So, yeah. It's cool to see F1 Academy back on the circuit. It's been 2 months or so. My Vlog as well, at her home Grand Prix. She might want to put on a few good performances here this season as well. She might want to put on a few good performances, maybe podium, maybe even a race win for my Vlog this weekend. She would very much be happy with that. Now you're going to get 1 lap. Out lap and flying lap. Take a listen to my Vlog and what she had to say.
Yeah, Montreal was horrible for us. We didn't drive in F1, didn't drive quali basically, didn't drive in race 1, and got to drive in race 2 and 3. But yeah, we lost a lot of points, especially in the weekend where we had 3 races. Was really a pity, because I think, considering we barely did any laps, we showed the pace was really good in race 3. So yeah, really frustrating. In the end, we know what the issue now is, and we're confident that we can show the pace that we've shown in Shanghai, Canada as well. So we just have to keep going and keep pushing and make the most out of it.
She very much did have quite the bad weekend indeed. Incident involving car 2 Havradar investigated after the session for a red flag infringement. So Nicole Havradar, they're getting noted for a red flag infringement as the crowds turn out as we get ready for free practice 1 for Formula 1. 75 seconds left in this session. I don't think the session will get back underway. Or 90 seconds, sorry, left in the session. So if you were to get this session back underway, you get practically out lap. Out lap and then an in lap. That's really all you get. But you'd think if the session was to restart, I don't reckon it will though. Not at this point with 90 seconds to go, but of course, depending on if there is a red flag in the next session, you get another 45 minutes a bit later on today. 60 seconds, and at this point, I reckon the cars will just head back to the paddock as the recovery crew, I think, are still out on the circuit. So, and there you go, session will not be resumed. Confirmed, thereby, race control. So Alicia Palmowski has been told their session will not be resumed, and the cars will just head back to the paddock. And in that ends that session. It's Alicia Palmowski over my Vlog. Chloe Chambers, Dorian Pan, Chloe Chong, Alba Larson, Nina Gaidman, Leah Block, Ferreira, Hausman, Chiconte, Nobles, Ella Lloyd, Cosma, Felbermeyer, Crime, Havradar, and Anastasia in P18. 12 seconds left. Make that more 9 seconds in this session. And when that clock hits 0, the cars can head back to the paddock. And session will be over for first practice for Formula 1 Academy. So, not a bad first session indeed. And just back on that topic of my Vlog, she very much struggled in Canada. Race 1 didn't attend, practice didn't attend, qualifying didn't attend. Race 2 and 3, she only attended those, and well, they weren't very good either. So, there were struggles. There were very much struggles from Ivor, and she'll be wanting to try and not match that this weekend, but try and do better. Alicia Pomarski tops the first session, Maya Vug second, Chloe Chambers third. So that's your top three. Over Damian Pan, 6/10 off the pace. Chloe Chung, Alba Larson, Nina Gaidman, Leah Block, Rafael Ferreira, Tina Hausman in P10. The Croatian driver, the Aston Martin team operated by Prema for Tino, sitting back down there in P10. So first practice looking quite strong for Alicia. Joan Jaconte, Aurelian Nobles, the Brazilian driver. Ella Lloyds, Kosterman, Felbermeyer, Courtney Crone, Cole Havard, and Ava Anastasia. So the drivers head back to the paddock. They'll get one lap of practice and then head back into practice 2 a bit later on today. But we'll be back. I will be back from I'll be back from 1 p.m. a bit later on today, right after free practice 2. See you then. Goodbye.
It is goodbye.